There was a diamond so beautiful yet cursed that for over 3 centuries, it brought down empires, ruined kings, and destroyed the lives of the wealthiest men with tragedy and misfortune. This isn't a fictional tale from a novel, but a little-known chapter from our real history. This is the story of the Hope Diamond, an extremely rare jewel that left a trail of blood and tears in its wake. Today, we're going to unravel this mystery. A tale where greed, power, and the supernatural collide, and where, in the end, the universe seems to demand a heavy price for human ambition. Before we start the video, if you'd like to hear more fascinating stories like these, please like and subscribe so you don't miss out, and it will also support our work. The story begins in India, around the early 17th century. In those days, India was the only known source of diamonds. In 1666, a French gem merchant, Jean-Baptiste Tavernier, traveled to India from France in search of rare jewels. Tavernier was a man of ambition, hoping to find the best gem in India, and soon he found this extraordinary blue diamond. It was a massive blue diamond, roughly the size of a pigeon's egg, weighing in at an astonishing 112 carats. Tavernier was astounded by the beauty of this diamond, and he wanted it at all costs. Now, there are 2 stories of how Tavernier got the diamond. The most widely told story is that he purchased it from Kolar mines in Guntur, India. But another story says that this diamond was embedded in the forehead of an idol of the Hindu goddess Sita, the devoted wife of Rama. The diamond wasn't just a decoration, it was believed to be a source of divine power, a sacred object blessed by the gods themselves. Tavernier obviously knew the temple priests wouldn't give the diamond to him at any price he would pay. He wanted this diamond so badly. He saw not a sacred relic but an opportunity. So he came up with a dirty plan. He would steal the diamond from the temple. It is not narrated how he stole it, but he got the diamond. Now, if you believe in curses, this is where it all begins. The priests of the temple, upon discovering the theft, were outraged. They declared that whoever possessed the diamond would suffer unimaginable misfortune, as the goddess's wrath would follow the thief and all who came into contact with the gem. Whatever was the case, Tavernier got possession of the blue diamond. He returned to France carrying the diamond with him. Little did he know, he had set in motion a chain of events that would span centuries, crossing continents and destroying lives. Upon his return to France in 1668, Tavernier sold the diamond to King Louis XIV, the Sun King, for 120,000 livres, or $440 million in today's money. The king was enamored with the gem, which was subsequently cut and shaped into a heart-like stone, reducing its weight to 67 carats. It became known as the French Blue, and it was set into a golden pendant, becoming one of the most prized pieces of the French crown jewels. But the curse had already taken hold. The Sun King, who had been at the height of his power, soon found himself surrounded by misfortune. His kingdom was plagued by wars, his health deteriorated, and his children died one by one. By the time Louis XIV died in 1715, his once glorious reign had been overshadowed by a series of tragic events. The diamond passed to Louis XV, who managed to hold on to the throne but was similarly afflicted by personal and national disasters. He lost his grip on the colonies, saw his country's influence wane, and eventually left a crumbling empire to his successor, Louis XVI. Louis XVI and his wife, Marie Antoinette, became the final victims of the French monarchy to hold the diamond. As the French Revolution erupted, the royal couple was imprisoned, and both were executed by guillotine. The diamond, along with other crown jewels, was looted by revolutionaries and disappeared into the chaos of the Reign of Terror. For years, the French Blue was lost, and it seemed the curse had faded into obscurity. But some curses have a way of finding their way back into the world. Fast forward to 1812, and the diamond reappears, although significantly smaller, now weighing 45.52 carats. It was owned by a London diamond merchant named Daniel Eliasson. How Eliasson came into possession of the diamond remains a mystery, though many believe it was recut to hide its origins, emerging under a new name, the Hope Diamond. It was then purchased by Henry Philip Hope, a wealthy British banker, and the diamond entered the Hope family's possession. Yet again, the curse began to weave its dark magic. Though Henry himself avoided misfortune, his heirs were not so lucky. His family's wealth dwindled over the next few generations, leading to bankruptcy and the eventual sale of the diamond. But the curse didn't stop with financial ruin. One of the more infamous stories linked to the Hope diamond is that of Jacques Collot, a French gem dealer who owned the diamond for a short period in the early 19th century. Collot, according to legend, fell into madness after acquiring the diamond and eventually took his own life. Then came Simon Frankel, an American jeweler who bought the diamond in the late 19th century. Frankel's business quickly went bankrupt, and the diamond was sold again. The pattern continued. Financial ruin, madness, and even death seemed to follow those who possessed the gem. By the early 20th century, the Hope diamond had become infamous not just for its beauty but for the string of tragedies associated with it. Yet this did nothing to diminish its allure. In fact, the idea of owning such a cursed object only seemed to enhance its appeal to some. One of the most famous and tragic owners of the Hope diamond was Evelyn Walsh McLean, a wealthy American socialite. Evelyn was a woman of immense wealth and was drawn to the Hope diamond not in spite of its curse but because of it. She believed that the diamond would bring her good luck, thinking herself immune to the tales of woe that followed it. Evelyn bought the Hope diamond in 1911, and soon after, her life began to unravel. Her young son, Vincent, died in a car accident at the age of 9, a tragedy that devastated her. Then her husband, Ned McLean, a newspaper tycoon, left her for another woman, eventually descending into madness and alcoholism. Her daughter committed suicide at the age of 25, and Evelyn herself eventually died in poverty, her once glamorous life destroyed by a series of misfortunes that many attributed to the curse of the Hope diamond. Yet, in a strange twist of fate, Evelyn's suffering brought a final twist to the story of the Hope diamond. After her death, the diamond was sold to pay off her debts, and it was purchased by the famous jeweler Harry Winston. Winston, aware of the diamond's notorious reputation, decided to donate it to the Smithsonian Institution in 1958, believing that placing it in a public museum might break the curse once and for all. When Harry Winston donated the Hope diamond to the Smithsonian, he did so in a most peculiar way. He placed the diamond in a plain brown paper package and shipped it via registered mail. The package arrived safely, and the Hope diamond was placed on display, where it remains to this day. Since then, the Smithsonian has not reported any significant misfortunes linked to the diamond. In fact, some believe that by placing the diamond on public display, the curse was finally broken. No longer was the Hope diamond a symbol of private greed and ambition. It had become a treasure for the entire world to admire. But, as with all good stories, there's one last twist. Here's where the story gets really interesting. You see, while the Hope diamond has been safely encased in the Smithsonian for decades, there are still those who believe the curse lives on, not in the stone itself, but in the lives of those who come too close. Take, for example, the strange case of James Todd, the mailman who delivered the Hope diamond to the Smithsonian. Shortly after delivering the infamous package, Todd's leg was crushed in a truck accident. Then his house burned down. His wife left him. And, to top it all off, his dog was strangled on its leash. Coincidence? Maybe. But in the world of curses, where tragedy and bad luck seem to strike without reason, maybe it's something more. And what about the countless visitors who have come to see the Hope diamond, only to walk away with a strange feeling of unease? The guards who swear they've heard whispers in the empty halls late at night, or the curators who've seen shadows move where no one should be. Perhaps the curse was never about the diamond itself, but about what it represents. greed, power, and the lengths to which people will go to possess something they were never meant to have. Perhaps the curse is a reminder that some things in this world are meant to be left alone, that not everything that glitters is gold, and that sometimes the universe has a way of exacting payback in ways we could never imagine. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe so you don't miss out on future stories. This is Wild Storian, and we will see you next time.